Good morning. Yesterday I talked about how to be like Christ. We are never more like Christ than when we are humble. But today I'm going to talk about confidence. So, how confident are you? How confident are you in your salvation? How confident are you in God's presence? Now, the best way to test our confidence is through adversity. When things go completely and totally wrong, how confident are you in your salvation? How confident are you in God's presence? And then we're going to add to adversity some adversaries, because that will really test our confidence when you have someone who challenges and questions your confidence, your salvation, the presence of God. So today we're going to look at Psalm chapter 11. In Psalm chapter 11, it's a psalm written by David. And David he knew what adversaries were. He knew what it meant to go through adversity. So I think he's going to be a great person for us to kind of look at what's going on with confidence. So it's Psalm chapter 11, and I'm going to stop a couple times in here because it is an amazing chapter. But listen to what it says, starting with verse 1. It says, "In the Lord I take refuge. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, to shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do?" Now, do you see the adversity? Do you see the adversary come along and begin to taunt David? I mean, think about this. The foundation is destroyed. What can the righteous do? What are you going to do when everything else is just falling apart and the whole world underneath that you're standing on just seems to fall apart? If the foundation is destroyed, what are you going to do? And you hear the mockers, the adversaries say, "Hey, just flee away to the mountains. Run to your daddy. Run to your daddy." That's what the adversaries are saying to David. Will his confidence be shaken? Well, let's listen to verse 4 and 5. "The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids test the sons of men. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked. And the one who loves violence, his soul hates. Upon the wicked he will rain snares, fire and brimstone, and burning wind will be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous. He loves righteousness. The upright will behold his face." Now, the thing I want you guys to see here is that in the midst of adversity, in the midst of all the adversaries that came David's way, David was confident that God was in heaven. And God was not unaware of all the adversaries and was not aware of all the adversities. God's eyes saw everything. He saw the righteous and the wickedness. He saw everything. So there's no adversity that you are facing that God is unaware of. God knows these things. I'm encouraged when I read in the book of Revelation and we get to every single church. Every single church begins with the idea that God knows. I know your deeds is what Jesus says to all these churches. But the one that I want y'all to see the most is the second one. It's the church in Smyrna. And Jesus says in chapter 2 of Revelation, verse 9, Jesus says, "I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich. And the blasphemy by those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan." What Jesus is saying to the church there in Smyrna is, I know the adversities that you're going through. I know your tribulations and your poverty, and yet you're rich. And I know the blasphemy of those. So Jesus is telling the church, I know what you're going through. I see everything that is taking place around you. But it's more than just the confidence that God is there in the presence, his presence is there, and that he sees everything. But that in the end, God is going to bring true justice. Not just judgment, but justice. He sees the righteous and the wicked. And God will rain down. He'll rain down this burning fire and sulfur upon the wicked. And the imagery there goes all the way back to Genesis and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah as God destroys the wicked, but he preserves and he saves. He rescues Lot and his family. I want to close with just the book of Job, because no one faced adversity more than Job, and Job's own friends became his adversaries, it would appear. But in chapter 9, verse 25, this is something that Job is encouraged by. And all that adversity that he went through, chapter 19, verse 25, Job says, as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives. And at the last, he'll take his stand on the earth. Even after my skin is destroyed, yet from my flesh I will see God, whom I myself shall behold, and whom my eyes will see, and not another. My heart faints within me. You see, in all the adversity that Job was going through, in all his adversaries that came upon him, Job was still confident that in the end, his Redeemer is going to stand upon the earth. I pray that as we go through these 40 days of testing and you see the adversities that you go through and the adversaries are just mocking all the way, I pray that your confidence is not shaken, but rather your confidence is strengthened that the Lord is present. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I pray y'all have a blessed and amazing day.